Okay, part 4 of the 2+2 series. Can you call the 2+2s a success? So, farmers and tractor nerds like me have wrestled with this question really for ages, and I don't know that anybody's really reached a good answer. I mean, if we're looking at, like total units sold, and I believe that was about 13,000, that puts it in the same territory as a 4840. And I don't know about you, but I don't know anybody who thinks that a 4840 was a big flop. On the other hand, though, time hasn't been kind to the 2+2s. They get a bad reputation for a couple of different reasons. On one hand, and we've discussed this before, I mean, they were pretty polarizing. They were massively different compared to traditional tractors and what was being sold by the competition. Now, that's a bold move in any industry, but even more so when it's ag. Because, on the whole, farmers don't typically go for the latest and greatest, and especially not when it looks like that. Once they did catch on, farmers bought them thinking that they could, weight them up or fill the tires and crank the pump screw wide open and ta-da, now I'm an instant BTO. Newsflash, that ain't the way it works. And it's not the way Harvester designed those tractors. In fact, it was almost completely the opposite. They were built so that the farmer could have the benefits of, better traction and less compaction and more agility with the equipment they already had. Not so that they could go out and buy bigger stuff. If you ran a 2+2 the way it was meant to be used, it lowered your bottom line because you were more efficient. Compared to a weighted up, fuel pump wide open 2-wheel drive, you weren't working your machine near as hard. And furthermore, because you weren't fighting for traction, you used less fuel and you moved through the field a little faster, and that saved you some time. Sadly, that's not the way it worked for a lot of those tractors. The whole instant BTO mindset contributed to, a lot of wrecked drive lines and blown motors and worse. If you look in the owner's manual for the 33 and 3588s, I don't think they even had a front axle that was rated for duals. I'm not positive of that, but I don't think they did. And that was not a mistake. That was done on purpose. Harvester did everything they could to make it clear that you will tear these things up if you treat them like a baby Big Bud. Still, that's what some people did. And I don't know that you can completely blame the farmer for all of it, though. Lee Clancher did an interview with Ron Berkey for Octane Press a few years ago. And one of the points that he made was that the sales guys really had to know how to sell those tractors' capabilities. If they oversold it, bad things would and often did happen. So at the end of the day, what do you guys think? Was the 2+2 a success? Sound off in the comments. I'll see you there.